figured out what's causing it. It's when I mute myself on Discord. So right now there's a bug in Discord that will crash your audio system, which is not good.
Nope, that's bad.
So let's hope our burning of digital sage has gotten the demons out of the system for now.
Yep.
Quick, everyone, mute yourself.
It's okay if you mute yourself because it doesn't drop the whole stream, but
Just if our host mutes himself, yes.
yeah.
Right. Remember to use the physical mute button.
I don't have a
Discord
physical mute button. That's the problem.
Unplug your microphone. That'll do it.
I would also unplug my webcam.
Oh. Never
Yeah,
mind.
do that too.
Bad news.
If you unplug your webcam while it's being used, it will hard crash my computer. It will blue screen on me.
Win-win.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Your computer's fussy.
It is.
Yeah. Temperamental. Yeah, you just. I've got a website. I think that you can get some sacred unguents and oils and can anoint your tech with that, and maybe
that will help.
Maybe that'll help. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Are
All
we
right,
good to continue?
Back
Yeah, go
into.
Okay.
My immersion has been ruined. Okay, where were we?
I was talking about what I was doing, what for maneuvering.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and convince these gnolls that like they won't get in trouble if they let us pass, right? Like this is an obviously scarcely populated swamp, right? If they let us pass, they can easily just say they didn't see us. They were somewhere else.
It's fair. That is fair.
Okay.
Right,
Is anyone helping that point?
Well, it sounds like in or
I
was.
already spoke before, so I
Yes.
would say
Yeah.
yes.
I'm now being attacked by a fur beast. So.
I think
we all?
Elias would help, but I can't think of how immediately.
Just walk behind a tree. See, you already don't see him.
Well, it was just like because they were saying you're too close to people, and
They said we're too close to the camp, so we're already kind of
Right.
close.
and so then our argument was
They also said that they were worried about getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their point was that if you make it to the camp, like we're guards, and if you come
Right.
from this direction, they're gonna know that we let you by.
yeah.
Just say that
I got
you,
that part. I meant what our point was.
Oh.
The point was that like it's a big place. It's not you can just claim ignorance. You never saw us. That kind of
It would
thing.
be very, very, very easy to believe this.
I think to help then Elias is like, yeah, you're so distracted by your fallen comrade. Yes? Can't see anything.
Okay. Yeah. So I will roll their defense. See how well they do. 3 successes.
That is equal to the orb, right? Oh, it's versus.
That is.
It's a versus, yeah.
Yeah, it's a versus.
You've got knob 3.
And you have 5 dice, right?
Yeah.
3 successes. Okay.
Okay. So they do not, because it's a versus. That
Right.
ob is what you rolled, so they do not recover anything.
Correct. Nothing happens.
And yeah, you don't get any. But we can go to a tiebreaker, or you can
Right.
break the tie in their favor
Yep.
if you wish to invoke a trait against yourself, which will give you 2 checks.
Oh, I suggest that.
Nah.
And I think Alana already has 2 checks, so that would give her 4.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You can pass
I
checks
have
around when we're
1.
camping. Is this correct? Or can you
Sort
not?
of, I think.
Yeah, you can share checks during camp. Yes.
Okay, so it's more of a party
I
resource.
have
Though
I have a 6. Could I?
You could spend fate and reroll that
Yep.
6.
I think I'm gonna do that because I just want to get this over with.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So.
Nice.
Nice.
So they'll get a minus
So
1 die
that's-
to their next one, right?
Make sure you in your sheet click 1 spent in
Yeah,
fate.
I did.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's just
We'll keep track of.
burning wheel headquarters things has bookkeeping for players, and it's like, all right, make sure you just start at that beginning.
Cool.
Oh, and oh no, we already did that. Never mind. Forget I said anything. All right. Next action
Next action.
is a feint.
Perfect.
And an attack.
So we just need
What?
1 success with the attack. So
Okay.
and against their feints. So I think, Zen, I think whatever they were going to say, I literally just cut them off. I think I just say, listen.
I'm the attacking. I'm the one attacking.
No, you're attacking second. You're attacking last. I'm doing this attack because I thought I would take the full brunt of it. By second,
Oh,
I meant
okay.
second of the 2
Never mind.
attacks. You're doing the next attack. I'm doing this attack.
Sure.
I'll include
Forget I said
labels.
anything.
I'll include labels in this next time so we can put who's attacking and who's.
Yeah.
You know.
We
Yeah.
could maybe just copies of our tokens, of our character tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
But yeah, I think they start talking in their thing, and I just say, and I would ask you to translate, of course, for me, Elias, and then I say, listen,
I know how I'm helping, but I'm letting you go.
listen, this has been going on long enough. Your chieftain clearly hasn't been feeding you the vast amount of food he's stolen from us. We can go rectify that if you'd like, and you may get those 2 horses. Those will feed you for quite a while, I imagine. And they will be good food. They are very, very strong horses, very large ones. The chieftain's keeping all for himself. You let us go, all that food could be yours, and no one could ever know we saw you. I'm sort of summarizing all of her points in one quick conversation is basically what I'm doing, and being like, this is how it's good for you. And I think I have the tone of like sort of a dismissive, like conclusive tone, like there's no way you're not going to do this.
Okay.
You don't want this sage. The rest
No.
of us call for sage, but you want to add sage? I'll keep this.
Just follow the recipe. Sorry.
Just double check before I gave it up.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's a holiday. No worries, man.
Yeah. Now, I will roll.
Elias will help
Yeah.
definitely. And in addition to helping translate and/or I think it's also like, yes, and we've been talking loudly for so long. It would be a shame for other gnolls to figure out that you've been in cahoots with the other human. You know, like,
Yeah, or they might kill
say
you.
things like,
To, like
yeah,
pressure them into getting this over the quickly.
surely going to that horse we suggested you eat would be a much finer option.
Than death.
You know.
Perfect.
Yeah, I raise my voice as well and like pick up my bag and I'm like, yeah. It would be very bad. You speak loudly.
Yeah, you're just like turning your head around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Let's roll it. So my persuade is 2. It's 5 dice.
And this is an ob 0?
This is an ob 0. Or
That's correct.
Yeah, this is an ob 0 because they're just completely negated. Skill 2, bonus and help 3, including fresh. Penalty 0, ob 1. I'll just put in 1 because I don't think it lets me put in 0.
Yay!
All right. That'll do it.
Okay.
the conflict finally comes to a close. You have full disposition. They have no disposition. You get everything you want. They get nothing, and they will not like it, but they'll deal with it. So yeah, your summation convinces the gnolls, and Elias, you can tell that that their ears prick up when you guys start yelling, and they kind of like drop their knives, and they're like, "Shut the fuck! Shut up!"
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Nice.
from that, you do like they're like glancing back in a very specific direction.
Perfect.
So make of that what you will.
Okay.
So yeah, your stakes were that they don't eat you, and that they show you to the place.
And they did, maybe not
Right.
intentionally, but
Yes.
okay.
They're not going to bring you there, but they will show you where it is by their actions.
Okay.
Because it's just too out of character for them to say, "Okay,
Oh,
we're not going
totally.
to eat you. Follow us."
Yeah.
You know, like-
Oh, yeah. No,
Right,
that totally
yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, they end up going back to their wounded gnoll friend, who is now dead because this took a while. He was bled out.
Actually,
Right. It must have felt like a
Amazing.
week to that guy.
yeah. Amazing. Okay.
So yeah, his last experience on this earth was his two friends arguing the bunch of adventurers while he bled out in agony in the swamp.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
Eat him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
They can't be that averse to cannibalism if they live in the swamp.
So I believe we're at 3 of 4 for
We are at
before
3 of
for the
4.
grind now.
We're at
Uh,
2 of 4.
No, you're at 3 of 4 because the conflict takes a
Oh,
The
the
conflict
turn.
counts as 1.
Takes a turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
3 of 4, and it's after the 4th turn that we get the thing. So if we camp at 4,
Yes.
we're
So
fine,
this
right?
when this says 4, you're fine. When it says 5, you're no good anymore. You
Okay.
take a condition.
And we all lose fresh.
And
You
we
all
would
lose
all lose
fresh.
fresh.
You
If we
don't
camp, we
want
keep
that.
fresh until for a bit longer.
Okay.
Right.
I would suggest we just find a hidden campsite and camp before anything else.
Okay. So if that's the plan, when you make camp, since you do have 2 turns in order to do this, you can make a survivalist test to make the camp potentially safer.
Yeah.
That will give you a bonus to your camp roll, which is a random table to determine if anything bad happens.
I suggest this. So we can use our last turn on making the camp safer because we are near like an enemy camp,
Right.
so we don't want.
I'm
it to be
trying-
unsafe.
I need to go over the camp phase stuff real quick just to like remember what we can do in a camp. 'Cause I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure
in
how much benefit we have with it right now.
I mean, the benefit is that it resets the
The
grind.
benefit is keeping fresh is the biggest benefit, but we have a couple checks that must be spent that could be useful. Things
Yeah,
like
the-
that.
that's the other thing to keep in mind when you camp. Use your checks because when you come out of camp, they're gone. It resets.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you can
Okay.
use.
Um,
Right now we don't have any conditions.
so-
we can.
So
do other
in camp, you can use any of your skills to do a number of things. You can scavenge, you can hunt, you can get new rations, you can scavenge for things to make things with. You can craft, you can do alchemy to make poultices and potions.
Yeah, I imagine we
Um,
can't scout the Knoll base because that would technically be leaving the camp, right?
That is correct. You cannot do anything that would be considered adventure phase stuff.
Okay.
This debates within the party.
That could be
What-
a thing, but I don't know if it would be a skill roll.
Yeah, unless you're doing like some kind of PvP thing, that's a little
Yeah.
weird in the camp phase.
There could totally be a scene, but I
I
don't,
thought
I don't
somebody
know if it-
had a belief that they wanted to convince so and so, or a
Yeah.
goal to convince somebody.
I think that
Is
may
that
have
a thing
changed
that
this
can
session.
happen in camp or not?
That could happen in camp.
Yeah, I mean, it could also just be general role play, talking it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so let me move you guys back over to the overland map here, just so you're aware of where you are. So are you going to make camp? that a thing you're gonna do?
What
It-
say you?
It sounds like that's where we're headed.
Okay.
Given the fictional positioning of where we currently are located, I would highly suggest us to do a survivalist check to improve the odds of us finding a decent camp.
I would agree.
Anybody
who has
have
that skill?
survivalist?
I have a 3.
I think you're probably our best.
Yeah,
I
so
do
that's
not
pretty
have
good.
that skill.
I have a 2, I believe, so I can help.
Alright.
Um,
I can probably help with
Yeah.
Scout. I can describe what Maud's been doing while you guys were having a discussion.
Survivalist suggested help, hunter, laborer.
yeah.
I will include Scout with that as well, because I can optionally put in one more skill you can help with.
And I
Scout
think
makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think we remembered. I think we mentioned this last session, but I want to double check. Helping is just helping. You don't actually get advancement from helping, right?
Right.
In
You
this
can
one.
get advancement from helping if you spend a check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is not. Well, actually, it might be worth it if we don't have anything else to spend them on. Actually,
It would advance my Scout from
but
2 to
I don't
4,
have a check.
but I don't think it's worth it. I think I'll keep my fate. I can also help with
Spend a
labor
fate
because I
on a
have
check.
labor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We'll spend fate to
Alright.
reroll 6s when it's time.
Okay.
Okay, so
So if you are, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I'm trying to figure what exactly this camp is.
Well, let me narrate
I think-
a bit what I've been up to. So we see, like, Maud is running away from the fight, right? And she's pulling out her crossbow. And she, like, realizes pretty soon they're, like, not right behind her. So she starts, like, grabbing, like, bits of leaves and sticks and sticking them in her armor. And, you know, in her hair. And we see, like, you know, she hides behind a tree. And when she peeks out behind her to see if they're following her, she's got another stick or something in her hair, and it repeats a few times. And then she gets some berries and she puts them, you know, like lines on her cheeks. And she's like scouts around, like looking for, you know, where are the gnolls coming from? Because she expects them to be chasing her. And she ends up like scouting out this area in front of us. And you know, you find her eventually. Like, she's sitting in a tree with her crossbow, and then she can like point out, you know, where is a good place to set up camp.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're no help then, because you've been alone.
No, I'm helping.
Oh, you are helping.
That is
Okay.
how I'm helping, because I've
I thought
scouted
you
out
were
this area.
doing the. I see. You pre-helped.
All right. So everyone's helping, right?
I cannot.
Okay.
You don't have hunter or laborer
I do not.
or scout?
You're receiving 2 help then.
Okay. And I'm still fresh, right? Like,
I do
Yep.
not have skill.
Yes,
You
you
are
are
still
still
fresh.
fresh.
okay, what is ob? Is that just
The ob is. Let's see, it's unsafe. 2. Three successes. All right. So you will get a +1 on your 2d6 roll. Whoever wants to make that roll, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that the person scouting should describe the camp and then make the roll. Alana, what is our camp? What do we find? That's a pretty good camp with 3 successes.
It's a small group of like large trees that like all fork outward, right? So we're able to hang up some camouflage and hammocks inside of that like small outcrop of trees.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. And on this 2d6 plus 1, we want a high result.
+1
Yes,
or +2?
higher the better.
High is good.
Is it
It's
+1 or
it's +1.
Okay.
Is
So
it like haggling, where if
Just-
you have the
just-
skill, you can pick the next higher result?
no. Just to note, you cannot, because of that +1, receive a disaster. So you will be able to camp, regardless.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Roll commence.
Wow.
Yes.
11. All right, that is a minor break. Let's see here.
Now we
Wilderness.
go to
Is
the
it a
minor
table?
break
I think it might also be a
table.
table.
Yeah. Yes, wilderness minor break table. Give me a 1d6 roll. 3. Wilderness minor break. The site you pick, and this actually feeds very well into your description. The site you pick is sheltered from the wind and weather. If you had to recover from exhausted, you'd get +1 die to recover.
Cool. So we get our first. It doesn't smell so much of the swamp, and for once we don't have our boots like ankle deep in mud.
Yes.
Things
And
like
I
this.
think since you're probably camping through the night, at one point a rainstorm does break out, and you're probably pretty glad that Alana found this place because it's a pretty driving rain.
Yeah. Okay. And luckily we went
Awesome.
fast because otherwise we might have lost the tracks if the rain might have washed them away. But now we know basically where the camp is.
Right.
Cool.
All right, so you are now free to spend your checks as you see fit. Nobody can go. Yes, instincts.
Now
Instincts
no one is
first.
hungry and thirsty, so I don't think I'm going to cook because we don't have to walk.
I always update my maps when we camp because
exactly,
I am the cartographer for the group.
which is
Okay.
excellent.
As a player group level thing, I'm not sure how I should keep that, like as far as records and stuff.
Since you're updating your map, how I look at cartographer is you need to keep a written log of where you've been. When you get into camp and you or trigger your cartographer roll, you then cement those places into your map with a roll. From that
Okay.
point on, if they're cemented in, you can fast travel to any of those locations as long as you're on your map, as long as you're in a place that has been mapped successfully.
Right.
And this means that if he cartographers this campsite, we could go return to this campsite if we ever need to.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
So, there's a cartographer's notes handout. Okay, never mind. Because I was like,
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, and I can edit it. Okay.
Yep.
So, not talking to our GM right now, but talking to the other fellow players. I know of 2 locations I would probably want to map. The first wagon area that we looked at, and the area where we encountered the gnolls. So, like, we
Yep.
could get back to where they pointed.
There
we
is
haven't
one
actually
more area.
found to the.
Yeah, we haven't been to their camp, but we know where it is. I don't know if Zen thinks that we can write down where it is in terms of.
You can't write down where their camp is, but
you can only, at least from my understanding of cartographer, I can only map where I've been.
Okay.
yes, you have to physically be there.
I mean, you could also just map this camp location, I guess.
Yeah, that's one
Yes.
of the.
That's
things.
true. Yeah, and so like if we were like, oh my god, we got to go back. We need a camp right now, and I'm like, hey, I remember that super awesome camp place.
Yep.
Ding. And then if I
Just cut-
succeed the
then we
roll,
just cut to
we just
there.
go there.
Yeah.
If you succeed this roll, you can go there at any point in the future. You
Without
don't.
a
You
roll.
never.
Okay.
You never
Okay.
have to roll for this
Okay.
again.
Okay, see, I thought I wasn't sure if I roll now or roll when I actually want to do a thing with something I wrote.
Okay, that's
No,
even-
you-
It was
you-
a priori type thing. Yeah.
How I'm looking at it is you roll to make the map. Once you have the map, you can pull out your magic map, point, and you're there.
Literally
No roll
fast.
required.
Okay. Then that's even more powerful. And I'm fine with all of those map sites. I don't think that we need to care about where we met the gnolls specifically.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So if you wish to do that, is that your wish?
How can
Elias?
one help with this?
With
Yes.
with
I
cartographer,
don't know
scholar,
if you
or
can help on
pathfinder?
instinct.
Without
If only if you have an instinct that is similar.
never mind.
Right. Okay, so right now for the cartographer notes players, I have first ruins of Merchant Wagon, Knoll encounter spot, parenthesis, direction of bandit camp known from here, and then camp with break from wind/weather.
Yep.
Cool. I would like to do that as my instinct.
Okay. And looking at the cartographer factors, you actually can transmit information that you're given from notes or by word of mouth, but it is a lot harder.
Ah, okay. Well, I have a cartography skill of 3 other people. I don't know if we want to just try and have me surmise where it is or just get what we have now successful and deal with it later. I'm of the latter opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. We're going to be there later. We're going to go there physically anyway, so there's no point in.
Well, the point would be like if I succeed, we could just be like, and there before turn 1.
Would it be
True.
harder? Yeah, that's big difference.
It would be a lot harder though.
It would
so
be a
there's
lot
probably
harder.
a fail,
Like obs
which
4
would
or
then
5.
yeah.
I mean,
I
we know
have
it's
no
going to
idea.
be a fail. Like, what's the consequences for fail? You get a check.
Yeah.
Depends, we don't-
In camp, there are. I can
checks?
give you conditions. And
Conditions.
you
Yeah.
you can't accrue checks in camp either.
So there's no point. Don't do it.
Okay. I think I will just try to map out the 3 locations we have been to, and that is it.
Okay, I'm going to say that is a moderate-sized area, which is half a level or a few days travel, which would be an ob 2.
Up to okay. I'm kind of debating if I should persona this or not to get the ob 2 when I have a skill of 3. Or
Well, do you have a trait that you could use in your favor to get an extra die? That's where I'd go first.
Trait.
Yep.
I always forget about
Now,
that.
you can only use a trait in your favor once per session, but
Actually,
this is
I have a level 2 trait. I have a defender at level
Okay.
2, which I keep forgetting about, which is plus 1d per roll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can use it on
Um,
every roll.
Hmm.
I need to remember what defender does.
I'll look it up while you make the roll. I don't.
Well, I need to know that before I can roll.
Oh,
I'm
I
there.
don't- I assumed
Defender.
it wouldn't.
Monsters and villains are a fact of life in the world. Many are the townsfolk who have been called upon to defend their homes without training, support, or even proper equipment. The people know the value and cost of defending one's home. Of course, when forced to choose, these defenders often put their home above other concerns. That is the stock definition. How you would choose to interpret that is up to you.
Okay.
So I think it could apply here, but it might get near the whole mongering type thing. So in the idea of defending, I think there's this idea of he kind of looks around and realizes that like Alana and of course ANR, maybe even Maud, because she took off when we saw the gnolls, that making sure a well-known exit entry from where we're going into the swamps is good. And so always knowing an exit strategy through our maps and everything is the best way to stay safe and to keep everyone healthy and to get back to town or get back to civilization, which in my mind seems defensive of the party, like to help.
Yeah. Because the whole
Yeah.
point we went on this is because you're defending. We're
Yeah.
defending like, the
Yeah,
town.
no-
against trouble.
Knowing safe havens are is definitely a defensive tactic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Cool.
Most excellent.
And you said the ob was 2, just for
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
3
Sweet.
successes.
Whoa!
Is there any
That's a
bonus
lot of
to
sixes.
spending fate? Do you get a bonus from extra going above the up?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Um,
I do get a pass
Cool.
on my cartographer skill, though. Woohoo.
yes, you do.
Yay!
All right, so that's instinct down. Anybody else have instincts that trigger in camp that they want to fire off?
I don't think scouting makes any sense at all
What's yours?
Okay.
because we're in a safe
Oh,
camp, right?
scouting.
Yeah, your scout for danger.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, probably doesn't.
Nope. Okay.
Cool.
And what I can't remember what is Alana's?
My instinct, it's only applicable when we're about to fight someone, so I don't think.
Oh right, it's okay. Okay. Then we have 2 checks to spend.
3.
3.
3.
Wait,
Oh,
okay.
right.
Did we have to spend a check to get into the camp, though?
No.
You just have to
No,
have one.
If you have
Okay.
checks that says you can get into camp, you spend checks while you're in camp.
I think that was one of those subtle distinctions between Mouse Guard and Torchbearer.
Hmm.
Oh, and
And I couldn't quite remember if you actually had to spend a check to say, we are camping now.
Okay.
All right,
So no, okay.
So while in camp, any of your skills can come into play for preparation. Up to you if you want to do. But the only procedural thing here is that you can't go twice in a row. Like,
Okay.
Can we prepare something that would help us speak the language of the notes?
No,
Like
because we're
Elias,
not going to
like-
be speaking the language of the gnolls because we're going to be fighting them.
Elias could like sit
Right.
down, like give us a few words so we can.
Yeah, I have an
There's
idea,
like an
but I would
instruction
need
thing.
someone else's check.
I think
to
there's
do
an
it.
instructor thing. I don't have it.
yeah, there's
But I could try and
mentor.
Teach
Yeah,
y'all.
I have a 2 in
But
mentor, but I
You
don't.
can't teach
know the language.
wises, I don't think. So I don't know if that's actually
Yeah, I mean, but
possible.
like,
Because you only get languages through wise, and that only happens when we get to winter.
Yep. Takes a while to learn a language.
You can also advance your wises through those 4 things that you can check off wises.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Once you check all 4 of those off, you can delete that wise and get a different one.
Yeah.
I have an
Um,
idea for something I'd like to do. If I need someone else's check, but I could use my cooking skill, which is only a 2, to I think with cooking skill I could make something that would I don't know, it's up to using, but I think I might be able to purposefully poison the food for the gnolls with cooking skill. If it was non-food related poison, I would definitely say no. That'd be alchemist. But I wasn't sure if it was something that specifically would like make their food rotten, and sick, but they wouldn't know it. So the gnolls would still eat it and they'd get sick. Is that close enough to cook?
I'm tempted to say yes because in Mouse Guard you can actually use cook to make poisons.
Oh, okay.
And that's a thing I remember reading on the forums. So yeah, I'll say yeah, but it's probably not going to be easy.
Okay. Do we want me? Do you guys think I should try it? Would it be useful?
The only thing I can think of is
cook is only 2.
I can try and make some poultices somehow. Because I'm the
alchemy?
healer, and
Oh.
that's really all I can do.
You have
I don't know if I have supplies for it though.
let's see. Supplies would only give you a bonus.
Okay.
Since with the skill you were assumed to have the basic tools
Yeah.
to do what you need to do.
Yep.
So with healer, if you want to make poultices with healer, you can do that. The easiest one to do is exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which poultices grant a +1d to recovery tests for the appropriate condition.
Yep.
And counter
Yes, that's also
supplies
pretty
for
sweet.
will and health tests for recovery. But the also thing is, even if somehow something happens to me, you guys can grab the poultices from my backpack.
This is true.
My one thought with the whole poison cooking thing is, do you want to carry a pot of poison as we enter a hostile campsite to then put into their camps? Like, there's a
It
plan
depends
there
on
that
what we're
I'm
going
not.
to do. Are we going to
It's
meet
kind of
with
like the
them?
underpants gnome thing where I see the first 2 points and then I see, but the ... is a little hazy to the profit step.
Yeah.
Okay, we can.
I was thinking we could just avoid most of the gnomes because they'd be sick if we go poison them and then wait until they eat the food. Then we could just go around them. That's what I was thinking.
Or we could poison them lethally.
With
Or yeah, because our mission
Steel.
was to finish.
Yeah.
Our mission was to finish them off
Iron
on
poisoning.
that. So poisoning them lethally would be fine. Possibly harder than poisoning them non-lethally. though.
I think if you want to go that direction, an easier plan would be like getting one of those horses and like making that tainted somehow, and then like putting the
Well, that's what I was
horse
thinking.
in one of
This is
their
something that would be
paths
added
or
to the
something.
horses, not something.
But that's not cooking to me.
Okay.
That's something
that's
else.
Arguably, survivalist could help with that. Finding, mushrooms you're not supposed to eat.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, but also none of that
Is in the camp.
Yeah.
right, because we would have to go back to something to get the
Yeah.
thing. Though finding mushrooms or something might be a camp thing. I'm not certain on that.
Yeah, if hunt can
But
be,
like
if
going
hunting
back
for
to the
food
thing
can
to get the
be,
horse.
Yeah, that's pretty
then
far
I would
away.
if we can hunt for food while camping, I'd say we can totally find
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Did
Just-
anyone else have any ideas for things they wanted to use for the checks since we don't have any conditions? Like, sounds like we should really prep.
prep for the
And we have 3
gnomes.
checks.
Yeah.
We have 3 checks total. So
All right, could I?
if one of them is for poultice,
Um,
that leaves 2 options.
no, I don't think that would.
Or if for some reason one of the 2 of us mess up our roll, we can keep that 3rd one open to say like, oh snap, can we try and recover from something?
Yeah, because if you fail here, you can still get a condition. So you may want to
Yeah.
not. You may want to roll, and then decide what the next check is, and then roll and
Mhm.
decide. What
Yeah,
the next
this is
Makes
true.
sense.
I like the mushroom idea. That's my opinion.
I
just
like the
want to-
idea.
I think it's more
maybe with
believable
the-
than the cooking thing.
That's really hard for me to pursue my goal if I can't have any communication.
Yeah. Do we want to have that conversation scene first? If it'll be about that, because you haven't told us in character about this, I think, and also there is yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think your character definitely brings up the idea of poisoning. Right.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
I would
Sure.
bring up the initial idea of poisoning, to the group, obviously. We're talking out of character, but we're probably having a probably fairly similar conversation in character as
Right.
well.
Yeah. Like.
To what we're actually saying. But yeah, eventually you bring up the point. I'm sure it's up to you, Golden, but I'm sure Maud will bring up the point that she wants to try and barter a deal with these gnolls.
Yeah, Maud
is that
says
true?
like we can if we can barter with them. I have valuable goods. They might be willing to leave, or they might even be willing to help us. Help us keep this area safe. Like we don't have to just try and poison their food.
Okay. I'm going to
Get
stop
them.
you right there. Okay. All right, Maud. I understand what you're getting at, but these are gnolls we're talking about.
Right?
Okay? So, level with me here for a second. You offer to trade with these gnolls.
Right?
Okay? Google Hangouts just crashed.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
still
can
hear
yeah,
you.
I'm
Still,
just-
still hear
yeah,
you.
if you can
Looks
hear
like your
us, it's just
camera's
the
frozen
camera.
out.
Reload.
Just-
Go hang out.
Yeah,
Just the
okay.
camera.
All right, so
So I was like, yeah, we can kill them, but it'd be way easier to kill them. They weren't expecting us to kill them.
Now we
okay,
have
but
two.
also if we trade with the gnolls, okay,
Okay.
What's stopping them from taking our shit, saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna lay off. We're gonna be civil people and join society from now on," and then when we leave, going patting our back, saying "job done," they just continue doing what they were doing. There's literally nothing stopping them from doing that.
That's true, but I can convince them not to do that. Like I'm not
Can
concerned
you?
about my ability. Yeah, I'm not concerned about my ability to change their minds. And
It seems like a great idea to have our plan hinge on the word of a knoll.
I must say, those two gnolls we ran into were extraordinarily stubborn and injured already, yet they still wanted to fight us.
because they were hungry.
A healthy chieftain would likely be even more hard to persuade.
But the chieftain is going to be greedy. He's going to know that he can get food by trading with it, by trading for it. He's going to also have pressure from other people, his subordinates, who also are hungry. Like, we can use this to make the gnolls do whatever we want.
That's even more reason for him to be smart enough to be like, "Oh yeah, okay.
Well, I'm not trying
We'll take
to.
your shiny shit."
I mean, if he can't, he's not going to do that.
I think he may do that, and even worse, I think that if he does do that, we would be in a very dangerous position because likely all of the gnolls would be there. If we poison them, then we will be safe.
Then we're not going to have any chance to peacefully resolve this. We poison them.
Yeah. I don't think we had a chance to peacefully resolve this when we left, like, home.
I mean, we can get the gnolls to like pack up and leave, and then we don't have to worry
Where?
about
This
them
is their
betraying
home.
us.
Yes, and then
Somewhere
someone
where there's
else
food.
elsewhere will have a no problem.
Yes, but it won't be our no problem.
So you do not wish a
Will it?
peaceful resolution, you just wish it to go away.
I mean, I think we can get a peaceful resolution, but there are other fail states besides the gnolls betray us.
This
We can take
issue
advantage
and
of
the
it.
peaceful resolution are mutually exclusive.
Elias, you have not spoken yet. What is your opinion?
There is truth to both sides of this.
So you do not have one?
The
I
gnolls
joke.
are not trustworthy. So peaceful solutions will probably be slim. However, they might be convinced to find more fertile lands, as they've already mentioned that, food is scarce here. Maybe we can convince them to go north.
Yeah, like, if we poison them, make them sick, take out their leader, they'll scatter.
Right. Or we could say there's, many humanoids far north in a large forest. That would be just right for the picking, and they can leave the more civilized lands be.
Or we can just trade with the gnolls, and then when they
That's
become
cute.
dependent on us for food, then they don't have a choice but to be peaceful.
How much do you know about gnolls?
I know a lot about gnolls. Dwarves have been dealing with gnolls for thousands of years.
I
Okay.
raise an eyebrow impressed, not sarcastically.
But how much do you know about gnolls, not your people?
I know. I've extensionally studied trading with gnolls among my people.
And
I
how
know
often
just
has
as
it gone
much.
well?
Well, the longest peaceful gnoll settlement is probably like 3,000 years old.
And is it still around?
Yes. They're very good trading partners with the dwarves. Look, these gnolls are definitely savage and uncivilized. But that doesn't mean that their basic natures are evil and untrustworthy. Any sentient being can choose to be free and choose to make the right decisions. And I
Yeah,
think
and
we
they
should just
can
give them that
choose
choice.
to just not listen to us and keep on doing their thing anyway.
You are free to make this choice, but I will not help you with it. I will be in the background, hidden, while you
Also,
argue.
If we make the Gnolls swear upon their gods, the Gnolls will be too afraid to risk retribution and will stick by their word.
Are gnolls generally pious folk?
Well,
They have
yes,
gods, but
we need to.
they change and shift.
I need to see.
This sounds
Just-
like a board.
Just to
yeah.
inject a little lore, since you're talking about who gnolls worship, I will give you one of their nature descriptors.
Okay, yeah,
Just,
that's something.
let me
we
just
know.
flip to it real quick, because you'll love this one. Where did they go? There they
Is it
are.
blasphemous?
Well,
Something like that.
let's see. Their third nature descriptor is serving demon lords.
Alright.
Oh,
They
nice.
still have lords.
The demon
Make-
lords will get serious vengeance upon them if they break an oath in their name. And once we have them, a captive audience, we can begin to free them from the oppression of demon lords.
Mm-hmm.
If we simply make them scatter, then it will be as bad. Like, we will have random no raids on undefended farms, travelers on the
Scattered.
roads. They'll be scattered and they'll be impossible to deal with. If we have a chance to keep them all here and keep the situation under control.
I've said my part. I will not help you with this, but I will help if it comes to a fight. In the meanwhile, I will hide.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just look
So,
at you. How,
we agree to
how
nothing.
good are you? How good are you
Yeah.
at hiding?
All right.
Alana,
Yeah.
if you were, as a backup plan, instead of to hide, to be act as Mod's bodyguard, you have done such things before, I believe. And say if things don't go well, you could challenge the champion, the chieftain, to a one-on-one fight. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. I'm gonna kick down their front gates and challenge the toughest looking motherfucker to a fight one-on-one.
The Knolls would pay attention to that, surely. That could be a useful mediation technique.
Yeah. Hopefully that tough looking motherfucker is barfing his guts out from our poison first, though.
If we
I
do
think
this-
Elias kind of sighs at this. Is like, surely there are better options than challenging the leadership of a Knoll clan.
I do not offer this as
Perhaps the elf could do that. Closer races and
I'm
whatnot.
trying to think if he would even pick up on that. I think he just says, "No, I'm not much of a fighter. I'd prefer to, subtler methods." However, Alana seems eager, and I don't offer it as the first course of solution, but merely if Mod's solution fails. If.
Yeah, like, Mon, I'll give you a shot,
That's
but
all I
as soon
need.
as soon as they start, as soon as they're like, maybe not, I think we're pretty good here, we're going to my plan.
Okay.
Yeah, if they refuse to trade with me, then we should kill them all.
I think,
suppose that is a. Oh, I thought we were done.
I think with that is like, okay, were you to do this, it might benefit you knowing the terms, as I was speaking with the Knolls prior, in which to give rise to a challenge.
Yes, that would be good to know.
So
Any
that the
words you can tell me.
whole clan knows that you wish to challenge their leader.
there were human footprints as well, were there not?
Yes, I believe they took prisoners. We saw very few. I don't know if we actually saw any
Mhm.
corpses.
Yeah. We did see a corpse.
That's another reason not to just poison them. They might just give the poison food to their prisoners.
I will not poison them immediately. I will poison them if and when the duel is going on.
Well, we
While
could.
they are all distracted and looking that way, I can poison them. Meanwhile, also we could go find the prisoners. Splitting the party in Torchbearer is
Yeah.
even
I
worse
kind of-
than non-splitting the party.
I kind of have this idea. I don't know.
Even worse than D&D.
But I think Elias would tell Alana the wrong words, and instead of like saying like leader challenge or something like that, it would be like blessed by the lords or something like that, and to try and convince them that the demonic lords have blessed Alana and that they should listen to them, not like I am challenging you for your leadership. Let us fight. But I wouldn't tell you that as Elias. I would just be like, yes, when this happens and you want to challenge, say it with forceful words. Whatever goblin term I'm saying.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing to repeat so our GM knows what's going down.
Hey, did you hear
Yeah.
that sound? Did your wireless headphones pick it up?
You didn't unmute.
There we go.
I took my headphones off. What was going on?
Oh yeah.
It looks like the other players are okay with this, but when Alana is like, yes, I'll back up when I'll be the backup when mod fails, of course. I will then challenge it later, and Elias is like, I will tell you the word so that the whole clan knows you are challenging their leader and everything like that. But instead of saying like leader challenge, like leader sucks, it's something like we are touched by lords of creation or something like that, so that they all think we are like sent by the demonic lords, and that
Okay.
they need.
So you're gonna play we're the messengers of your god angle.
Yes.
without
though
Mod
Alana
knowing.
thinks she's challenging the leader to a duel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not telling Alana, but I'm telling
Okay.
the others. That's my plan. And it sounds like everyone's on board with that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm down.
Okay.
I don't know if that whole thing requires a check or if that's just
Uh,
hand wavy talky
it is just like
non-gamey stuff.
It is a single.
That's
alcohol
non-gamey, hand wavy, talky
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
That's fine. But it still can accomplish beliefs and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally hitting a belief doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like, can I try? I think I might, if it's okay with everyone, if we want to make that actually really effective. As in character, do you tell anyone this, or is it just Alana you're telling?
Oh no, I don't tell anyone.
Okay,
I'm like,
then never
you
mind.
say like, when you want to do this, say these words, and the words are just not the words you think they are.
Okay.
And no one knows
Cool.
different.
Yeah, I think the
I would
only other
especially
thing we
though
might do is
not tell Anor.
Okay, I have an idea to help, but racist won't accept it. So I think the only thing left
Fair.
to do. Find the mushrooms and then perhaps sharpen our weapons if finding the mushrooms go.
I still
sharpening-
think the poultice idea is good, unless you guys had better options. And the mushroom idea sounds pretty legit. And I think maybe we
Swap
can have the
mushrooms,
conversation of what the last check is, assuming we don't totally F up.
Let's
first two
wait to
things?
Right.
have that conversation because
Right.
something will probably go wrong.
All right. So, just so it's easier off, do you want to do the mushroom thing first, since Alana has 2 checks tier 1? You don't risk having 2 people do the same thing, or 2 people, or the same person having to
Yeah.
go twice.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Unless you want me to go first, in case you think the mushroom thing is harder, so that I might be available again to help with healing, because I am the healer.
Okay. So the mushroom thing, just so it's pointed out, is going to be scavenging.
Okay, I have that.
Okay. Can I help with survivalist then?
You can help with scout. Survivalist is more about like making
like just
shelters,
seeing it.
finding water,
Mhm.
building fires, jury
Um,
rigging tools, that kind of thing.
Do I have scout? I do have scout. Okay, I'll help with scout.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I think I will spend my check first to just make some poultices, and I'll say for exhaustion.
Yeah, that's the easiest one.
Okay.
That would take up space in your inventory, though. Do you have extra space in your inventory?
Yeah, I have space.
Cool. Okay. Wasn't sure if any of us did.
This will be my last space, but I have it.
Okay. We'll get the prisoners that we, of course, they're totally still alive. We'll get them to carry the stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice of you to think about freeing the prisoners so that we can use them as slaves.
Yeah. Transferring
Oh.
ownership.
It's
That's a legit thought. Yeah.
All right. So for scavenger, I think your terrain counts in your favor here, since you're in a swamp. I think there normally are more poisonous mushroomy type things in swamps than normal
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
So what would normally be an ob 3 is now an ob 2.
Okay.
okay.
We are still fresh, even in camp, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then, yeah, I'm literally accompanying you with scout
Okay.
and helping you look.
And it's up to.
Ob 2. Ooh.
Ooh.
No sixes.
So yeah, I think you guys, since you helped Aenor, I think you guys are out there for a while. I think you do find your mushrooms, but by the time you get back to camp, you're both exhausted.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it started raining, like you mentioned, it rained. I think maybe we were outside when it started raining, and we got back to camp after.
So you lose fresh and mark exhausted.
Oh,
Um,
right. There we go.
So
Yeah.
neither of you are fresh anymore.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
but you do have your mushrooms.
We do have our mushrooms that we can use.
Okay, so then my question now is, do you still want me to try and get poultices for exhaustion? Or we still have 2 checks. Do you guys want to try and recover from exhaustion with those 2 checks?
I would argue recover, because we are in this camp that gives us a bonus to recovering from exhaustion, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right.
So I think I can give my check to Aenor, of all people. So that then Alana can do as the third
Right.
one. Because
Okay.
she did the first one.
All right. So you are exhausted now. Just since it's the first time we've seen this,
yeah.
exhaustion would be a factor in all tests except circles or resources.
Yep,
That means
it's a nasty
it
one.
gives you a -1 success penalty to your roll, which is worse than taking a die away.
Yep.
So to recover from exhaustion, you need to make an ob 3 health test. If you pass the health test, you shrug off your fatigue and soldier on. If you fail, the exhaustion condition remains with you through the next phase.
Okay.
So the nice thing about these recovery tests is that the fail is that you just still have it. It's not
Yeah,
like
there's no downside.
compounding. There's no further downside.
Mhm.
There's no furthermore.
There's no downside to making the test itself.
Well, you spend the check.
Other than spending a check, but that's everything.
Is there any way for a healer to help on this, or is it because like it's a stat thing that
A healer makes their own test, I believe.
It's a yeah, you would keep the check and make the test to recover someone else, I believe.
right?
But let's see what the ob is. It might be easier.
It looks like it's an op 3. It's on the sheet.
Ob 3 for both, but the Ob 3 is the health test. I wasn't sure if it was the same Ob.
I don't want to
either.
know the ob because then
Oh,
I will have
yeah.
to do it.
Okay.
I am not asking for the ob. Please do not tell me.
Okay. He'll need to know the Ob anyways. I am unlikely to succeed with my 4 health.
And actually, just so you know, healers only treat injured and sick.
So okay, we can't.
Oh.
Anyways.
But I can make poultices that would have helped
Yes.
Yeah,
for
But
anything.
but we don't have the checks to do that anymore.
Okay, there was a thing. If you guys are thinking about your tests, that I wanted to ask about the poultice thing, if we could do that.
Okay.
Or if you guys want more ask questions about recovery, I can. It's a non-immediate thing.
I have no questions.
Okay. So the sentence says poultices grant +1 die to recovery tests for the appropriate condition and count as supplies for will and health test for recovery. So the and there, it sounds cumulative to whatever supplies do.
Is that in the
Or is this
handout?
that's page 31
Page 30.
on the healer in the skill chapter.
Okay, because I'm looking
all
at
the way in the
the
bottom right.
I'm looking at the factoring thing, and all it says is
Okay.
poultices grant +1d to recovery tests. Period.
Right. The actual sentence in the skill descriptor has this and that is like, wait, that sounds mechanically
Yeah.
like there's a
Yeah.
semantic thing here that I'm wondering, and it sounds like we might want a house rule or GM like, what does that actually mean for our group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that the factoring thing on 138 supersedes that, because that is like this is
Okay.
directly a GM thing versus
Yeah. Because like when I read this, because like I remember talking about supplies with you before, where supplies on their own grant additional
Yeah.
die, and then it's before that it's saying, and if it's a recovery, you can also have you can also get a plus. So that's like +2 to recovery if we're doing a health test.
right.
Which
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
I think
whoa, that sounds
Yeah.
huge.
yeah, I think it's just a +1.
Okay.
Going by what I'm reading here.
I'm totally cool with that, but like that
Just-
and threw me for a loop, and I
yeah.
wanted some clarification.
All right,
That was
so
my question. Thank you. I'm done.
one other thing to note about exhaustion. On your character sheet, toward the pull up somebody's character sheet so I can say this accurately. You will notice that there is a fatigue/recovery factors thing, and that it has several things that you can check off, such as shield, shade armor, plate armor, full large sack, casting spells, and spell effects. If you have any of those things checked, that is an additional +1 ob to recovering from exhaustion.
Okay.
Now, I'm bringing this up now. You are in camp, so fictionally you might not be carrying that stuff. So, it might be in your tent
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
makes
when
sense.
you're trying to recover.
So with that being said, can you do a recovery test outside of camp?
Yes.
Yes. I
Does
think that
it
might be
count
why.
against the grind though?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the difference. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. So I do have a full large sack, but I definitely don't think. I think I would have it hanging on one of the branches of one of these trees. If that makes
Let
sense.
me go to that recovery thing. Make sure I was being accurate when I said you can. Actually, it specifically says for fatigue, for exhaustion, that you need to be in camp or town phase.
So you need to be in camp and town phase to recover at all, or
That makes sense.
Yes,
okay.
but that's purely exhaustion, as far as I'm seeing. Hungry and thirsty, you can do at any time. Angry.
And hungry thirsty
Angry
isn't
is
even
angry
a
is
roll.
angry
it's
is
just
camper
interaction
town
based.
as well. Injured, recovery, camper town. Yeah, it looks like you do have to be in camp or town to recover most of these.
Okay. So
I was
the
mistaken.
full large sack would matter. Oh wait, no, full large sack, not backpack.
Yes.
Never mind. I'm good. I don't have any of those.
Okay.
Okay, then if we are all good, I'm going to make the health test.
Sure.
You can't receive help for this, right? Unless it's
Yeah, unless someone's like making a roll to help you, then no.
okay.
Cannot
Yeah.
receive help for that.
Skill
Recover
4.
on your own.
I am no bonuses, no help, no anything. Okay. Penalty 0, obstacle 3. No, nothing to do. Okay. Yep. I do not. I am still exhausted with my weak elf fragility.
Alright, so that's my turn. So, where did it? There we go. Okay. Obstacle is 3, correct?
Obstacle
Yep.
3. And then just a health test. No. You have a fate. I assume you have a fate to spend.
Yeah,
if
I
you
do
wish.
have a fate. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of stuff, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna spend it to try to get one more.
Yeah, it seems good to. do
Yeah,
that.
exhaustion
Is
sucks. So
is
yeah,
there,
if
is
you
there
can,
a trait you can check like before that?
would have had to do that before the
Oh,
roll.
never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
D6. Fingers crossed.
No. All right, so you both remain exhausted. Well, you've got something to flavor your role play with from here on to the next
Yeah.
camp phase.
I should have put in calm, but oh well.
Yeah.
Too late.
So did
Live and learn.
they get the mushrooms
Live and
or
learn
not?
to use your
They
traits.
they
We
did
got the
get the
mushrooms.
because
They
they
did.
got the condition. That means
Yeah.
that you do succeed, but you get a condition.
Okay. And were these mushrooms
All right.
for healing or for poisoning?
They are
They're
poison,
Poison
poison
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
Okay. That's what I thought.
All right, so that will wrap up your checks.
Yeah.
We now move back into the adventure phase.
Do you guys want to take a break? It's been about an hour since the stream crashed. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
Take a
Yeah.
5-minute
sure.
break.
all right. Let's celebrate stream not crashing hour mark. It's a nice little break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys.